How do you survive the insanity of a self-destructing world? Sounds like hyperbole, doesn't it? But it's not that far off the mark. Today's world is a maelstrom of insanity, isn't it? People are bombing each other, fires are running rampant across continents. Kids, 12-year-olds, are charging round city centres with zombie knives. And our government, in its infinite wisdom, has decided that they can solve it by demanding ID on Amazon. I'm not really that sure myself. The mind boggles, as do the eyes, the ears and the teeth. It's a crazy mad world out there, and I can say that because I'm a boomer and I can trip out all the old cliches like it wasn't this bad in my day, but it wasn't actually this bad in my day. We had our fair share of idiots, not on the industrial scale we've got today. I want good news. I want stories about kittens being saved from trees by fire bobbies, and glamorous granny competitions at Butlins Filey. I want smiley children with rosy cheeks and bright eyes, smiling with perfect teeth. I want Saturday afternoons at the Regal Theatre, where they used to every week get the kids whose birthday it was up to date to sing Happy Birthday in front of the big screen. And it was the same kids from the same council estate that got up every week and who were egged on by the parents. Happy days, halcyon days, never to return days. What are we going to do about it? They aren't coming back, those halcyon days of our youth, so what we've got to do is find a way to negotiate the bad news that bombards us at every turn. You know, I'm going to tell you to get out in the countryside without turning your mobile device on, because that's what I always do. But I still think it's the best way, and apart from anything else, it gets lots of fresh air into your lungs and exercise into your legs. Back home, you do realise that having the idiot box on is not mandatory. We go home, we close the door behind us, we kick off our shoes and we put the idiot box on. We don't have to do it. It's a reflex action. No, we don't have to, but I do think that in today's world where we're assailed by noise everywhere we go, almost everywhere we go, from shops, in the workplace, at school, wherever, it's sound, it's sound, it's sound. And I think because we're assailed by it every hour of the day, that we actually find silence intimidating. And we find the need to fill it with sound for our own safety, for our own well-being, because it feels secure. It feels as though we have control of the situation. It feels like silence is like a vacuum into which anything can come, anything threatening can come. But that's far from the truth. That's just us being used to noise. You can actually do the opposite and leave the silence alone and let your mind assimilate to it rather than the other way around. And once you start doing that, and once you get used to doing that, that becomes the norm. That silence becomes your escape pod, your desert island away from the world, your farmhouse at the end of that long track with that big gate on that nobody can get through. It's your sanctuary. Silence and peace and quiet is your sanctuary. It's mine anyway. Hobbies. I mean, I've talked so much about hobbies in videos in the past that I'm not going to go on about it anymore here. You know my idea about the value of hobbies and what it does to your mind and how it keeps you active and how it keeps you awake and how it keeps you bright and how it keeps you dexterous. So I don't need to repeat myself any more than I've just repeated myself. I think one of the most important things we can do, and it's something that not all of us do, because people like me who choose to be on our own, who choose to lead a solitary life, who find comfort in that vacuum of silence. But one thing we should do, if we're in a family unit or a group, talk to each other. What about those days long ago? The old boomer telling you about how good it was. But do you remember those days when we'd all sit round the table in the evening and talk? Us kids didn't really want to be there, but it built good habits. It built manners. It built knowledge as you'd listened to your parents' conversations and soaked it in before you rushed off to go out again and skin your knees and black your eyes like all kids should do. Yeah, people like me who've lived long enough in the same kind of lifestyle, the same kind of solitary lifestyle, we've already got that sussed out because we've found agreeable company, and that agreeable company is ourselves. And we tend to spend more time in thought. And whether that thought is productive or not doesn't matter. It's a conversation with yourself. I talk to myself. Does that make me mad? Do I care? Do I heck? I'm happy. I'm at peace. And I think that's how we should be. We should concentrate on number one. If we concentrate on number one and that is positive, and that goes over to other people, that leaks into the society around you and affects the society around you in a positive way, then I think we're doing all right overall. I may seem to have covered only a little ground there, but I don't want to go on too long. I don't want to go on and on and on and bore people and send them away. It's a short message, a brief message, but I hope it's a positive one, that we can get away from the bad news by orchestrating your own environment, orchestrating your own surroundings, orchestrating your own mindset, your own thoughts. And we can do that by changing the environment and coming out into an environment like this. A blue sky, a jet in the air, trees all around me, the grass, the wet. It's misty today. I can feel slight little raindrops in the air. And it's nice, and it smells nice, and it sounds nice, and it feels nice. We can all get away from the madness of crowds. All we need to do is look round at our own surroundings, and the answers will be obvious. If you choose to follow them, that's up to you. It's just me telling you how I feel. You do you. And I hope you can find happiness and peace like we've found. Molly's in the grass, scooting about. She's better today. She's in a good mood. And we shall see you all on the flip. Peace and love.